5 signs your bone health needs attention for lifelong strength. Have you ever thought about the strength of the bones that carry you through life? In your teens and 20s, your body is building the foundation for lifelong skeletal health. But the habits you form now can either fortify your bones or set you up for problems like osteoporosis later. Some people move through their early years with strong, resilient bones, unaware of their good fortune, while others may already be showing signs that their bone health needs attention, signs that could lead to fractures, pain, or limited mobility down the road. The difference often lies in recognizing a few key indicators that reveal whether your bones are thriving or at risk. In this article, we're going to explore 5 signs, backed by the International Osteoporosis Foundation and other research, that your bone health may need attention to ensure lifelong strength. These aren't just guesses. They're based on patterns observed by bone health experts who study skeletal development and aging. By the end, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own lifestyle and body, and more importantly, what you can do to build and maintain strong bones for decades to come. Stay with us until the end, because you might be overlooking small habits that could have a massive impact on your mobility and independence. Once you recognize these signs, you'll have a clear path to strengthen your bones and protect your future. Let's dive in. Sign 1. Low calcium intake. The first sign that your bone health may need attention is a low calcium intake, particularly if you're consuming less than 1,000 milligrams daily. According to a 2021 report from the International Osteoporosis Foundation, calcium is the primary mineral that gives bones their strength and structure, and inadequate intake during your teens and 20s can prevent you from reaching peak bone mass, increasing your risk of osteoporosis later. Calcium is especially critical before age 30, when your bones are still building density. Imagine 2 roommates, Mia and Noah, both 22 years old. Mia includes calcium-rich foods in her diet, like yogurt, leafy greens, and fortified almond milk, easily hitting 1,200 milligrams daily. Her bones are getting the building blocks they need to stay strong. Noah, however, rarely eats dairy or calcium-rich foods, relying on soda and processed snacks, barely reaching 500 milligrams daily. While Mia's adequate calcium intake supports her bone density, Noah's low intake could be weakening his bones, setting him up for fragility in the future. Low calcium intake isn't just a dietary oversight. It's a direct threat to your skeletal health, reducing your bone's ability to withstand stress and injury. If you're not getting enough calcium, don't wait to make changes. The good news is that you can boost your intake with simple dietary adjustments. Aim for 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams daily through foods like milk, cheese, kale, broccoli, or fortified cereals. If you're lactose intolerant or vegan, try calcium-fortified plant milks or supplements, but consult a doctor to ensure proper dosing. Limit caffeine and high-sodium foods, which can interfere with calcium absorption. If you're unsure about your intake, track your diet for a few days using a nutrition app. Test yourself. Are you consistently eating calcium-rich foods, or is your diet lacking? Increasing your calcium now can build stronger bones for life. If you're finding this valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Sign 2. Sedentary lifestyle. The second sign that your bone health needs attention is a sedentary lifestyle, particularly a lack of weight-bearing exercise. A 2020 study in Bone found that weight-bearing activities, like walking, running, or strength training, stimulate bone formation by putting stress on your skeleton, encouraging it to grow denser and stronger. Without regular exercise, especially in your teens and 20s, your bones may not reach their full potential, increasing your risk of fractures and osteoporosis later. Consider 2 classmates, Emma and Liam, both 20 years old. Emma stays active, jogging 3 times a week and doing bodyweight exercises like push-ups and squats. Her bones are constantly stimulated to grow stronger. Liam, however, spends most of his time gaming or studying, rarely engaging in physical activity. While Emma's active lifestyle supports her bone density, Liam's sedentary habits could be limiting his bone growth, leaving him more vulnerable to weakness as he ages. A sedentary lifestyle isn't just about fitness. It's a missed opportunity to build a robust skeleton, which can affect your mobility and strength in the future. If you're not moving much, don't worry. It's never too late to start. The good news is that even moderate exercise can strengthen your bones. Aim for at least 30 minutes of weight-bearing activity most days, such as brisk walking, dancing, or hiking. Incorporate resistance training, like lifting weights or using resistance bands, 2 to 3 times a week to target major bone groups. If you're new to exercise, start with low-impact options, like walking, and gradually increase intensity. Avoid long periods of sitting by taking short movement breaks every hour. If joint pain or injuries limit your activity, consult a doctor or physical therapist for safe exercise options. Test yourself. Are you regularly active, or do you spend most of your time sitting? Getting moving now can fortify your bones for decades. If this resonates with you, comment number 2 below to let me know you're following along. Sign 3. Frequent fractures. The third sign that your bone health needs attention is a history of frequent fractures, especially from minor injuries. According to a 2019 study in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, breaking bones from low-impact incidents, like tripping or falling from a standing height, can indicate low bone density or poor bone quality, even in young adults. Strong bones should withstand everyday stresses, but frequent fractures suggest your skeleton may already be compromised. Picture 2 cousins, Sarah and Ethan, both 25 years old. Sarah has fractured her wrist twice in the past few years, once from a minor fall and once during a light sports activity. She's surprised, as the injuries didn't seem severe. Ethan, however, has never broken a bone, despite similar activities and occasional falls. While Sarah's frequent fractures could signal weak bones or early bone loss, Ethan's lack of breaks suggests his skeleton is more resilient. Frequent fractures aren't just bad luck. They're a warning that your bones may not be strong enough to protect you, increasing your risk of osteoporosis or debilitating injuries later. If you've had multiple fractures, don't dismiss them as accidents. The good news is that you can take steps to strengthen your bones. Ensure you're getting enough calcium and vitamin D, as both are critical for bone repair and density. Engage in weight-bearing exercises to stimulate bone growth, but avoid high-risk activities until your bones are stronger. Talk to a doctor about a bone density scan, especially if you've had fractures from minor impacts, to assess your risk of osteoporosis or other conditions. Test yourself. Have you broken bones from minor injuries, or has your skeleton held strong? Acting now can prevent future fractures and build lifelong strength. If you're still with me, comment number 3 below to show you're engaged. Sign 4. Poor posture. The fourth sign that your bone health needs attention is poor posture, such as slumping, hunching, or a rounded back. According to a 2022 report from the International Osteoporosis Foundation, poor posture can indicate early bone loss in the spine, as weakened vertebrae may struggle to support an upright stance. Slumping also reduces the mechanical stress on your bones that helps them stay dense, further compromising skeletal health. Think about 2 coworkers, Ava and Lucas, both 23 years old. Ava stands and sits tall, with her shoulders back and spine straight, whether she's working or walking. Her posture supports her bone health and lung function. Lucas, however, slouches at his desk and hunches over his phone, often feeling stiff or tired. While Ava's upright posture promotes bone strength and spinal health, Lucas's slumping could be an early sign of weak spinal bones or poor muscle support, increasing his risk of bone loss over time. Poor posture isn't just about appearance. It's a clue that your bones and muscles may not be working together to keep your skeleton strong. If you notice yourself slouching often, don't worry. You can correct your posture. The good news is that simple changes can align your spine and support your bones. Practice sitting with your back straight, shoulders relaxed, and feet flat on the floor. Strengthen your core and back muscles with exercises like yoga, Pilates, or planks to support an upright stance. Use ergonomic chairs or standing desks to encourage good posture at work. If posture issues cause pain or persist, see a physical therapist to address muscle imbalances or spinal concerns. Test yourself. Do you stand and sit tall, or do you slump frequently? Improving your posture now can strengthen your bones and enhance your health. If you're finding this helpful, comment number 4 below to let me know you're still here. Sign 5. Low vitamin D. The fifth and final sign that your bone health needs attention is low vitamin D levels, which impair your body's ability to absorb calcium. A 2021 study in endocrinology found that vitamin D deficiency is common and can weaken bones by reducing calcium incorporation, leading to lower bone density and a higher risk of fractures or osteoporosis. Vitamin D is especially critical in your teens and 20s, when your bones are building their maximum strength. Consider two siblings, Olivia and Mason, both 21 years old. Olivia gets regular sunlight exposure and eats vitamin D-rich foods like salmon and fortified milk, maintaining healthy levels around 30 nanograms per milliliter. Her bones are absorbing calcium effectively. Mason, however, spends most of his time indoors, rarely eats vitamin D sources, and has levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter. While Olivia's adequate vitamin D supports her bone strength, Mason's deficiency could be limiting calcium absorption, weakening his skeleton over time. Low vitamin D isn't just a nutrient issue. It's a direct threat to your bone health, reducing your skeleton's ability to stay dense and resilient. If you suspect low vitamin D, don't ignore it. The good news is that you can boost your levels with simple changes. Get 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight exposure on your face, arms, or legs most days, depending on your skin type and location. Eat vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, or fortified cereals. Consider a supplement, 800 to 2000 IU daily, but consult a doctor to test your levels and determine the right dose, as too much can be harmful. Limit alcohol, which can interfere with vitamin D metabolism. If you have symptoms like fatigue or bone pain, ask your doctor for a blood test to check your vitamin D status. Test yourself. Do you get regular sunlight and vitamin D-rich foods, or are you at risk of deficiency? Ensuring adequate vitamin D now can fortify your bones for life. If you're finding this inspiring, comment number 5 below to let me know you're still here. Final thoughts. Now that you've explored these 5 signs, take a moment to reflect on your own bone health. Are you getting enough calcium, staying active, avoiding fractures, maintaining good posture, and ensuring adequate vitamin D? Or have you noticed signs like a sedentary lifestyle, frequent breaks, or low nutrient intake that suggest your bones need attention? The good news is that your bone health is something you can strengthen, and the choices you make in your teens and 20s can build a foundation for lifelong skeletal strength. Your future isn't fixed, and small changes, like eating calcium-rich foods, exercising regularly, standing tall, and getting enough sunlight, can make a big difference. Don't wait for a fracture or diagnosis to prioritize your bones. Start today. Listen to your body signals, and if you've noticed any of these signs, talk to a doctor about a bone health assessment, including a bone density scan if needed. Adopt bone-friendly habits, like weight-bearing exercise and a nutrient-rich diet, to maximize your peak bone mass. Strong bones aren't just about avoiding osteoporosis. They're about supporting an active, independent life for decades. By nurturing these 5 signs, you're not just protecting your skeleton, you're investing in a stronger, more vibrant future. If you found this article valuable, please comment below with your thoughts, and consider subscribing for more tips to help you thrive in your teens, 20s, and beyond.